like the Australian breakdancer doing the kangaroo.
Okay, obvious gold medals. Gold medals being thrown at you. Dan, bite the gold medal.
It's a vape. Same thing.
Well, we can no longer stream on Twitter because of Elon Musk's insatiable greed. So
greedy.
You can watch us on Twitch and YouTube. Thank you for joining us live. Thank you for joining us after and beyond. As always, humans at all the spectrum.
After and from the beyond? Ryan, are you talking to dead people?
No. I think YouTube will eventually be able to be like accessed by basically living, non-living.
Yeah. Oh.
I think heaven, if you loved Netflix, heaven should have Netflix. Like, why would you not? It wouldn't be heaven.
Ryan, I agree. There is no heaven without suits on demand.
All right. How have you been, Dan?
I was good. We had crazy weather today. It was hot and muggy.
Heat dome.
Crazy storms. Like suddenly it was like, I thought we had like a tornado coming, but man, it was crazy. How was yours?
I'm doing well. I've been stress eating. You can't tell.
You look good. Red suits you.
Red slimming.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. No, guys, we could do this all night, but you're not here for us. You're here for our first time readers. And we have the best in the business. Dan, the best in the business. Seriously, the Yankees of first time readers. The Golden State Warriors of first time readers.
Did you know that there is not only a business but an entire industry of first time readers? And we have the best.
If this was a WWE like threesome, like 3-on-3 battle royale of first time readers, they would win every single damn one of them.
I'm pretty sure one of our first time readers ripped off his shirt at the Republican National Convention and flexed, and it said MAGA underneath.
Oh, that's so funny you brought that up. Dan, I have a proposal that we just turn into just Republican grifters. All right, let's make some money. Yeah, once Cornell West.
Buy my supplements. Buy my supplements. They are good for you. They'll make your penis hard. They'll make you look younger, and you'll jump real high. You will look great to chicks. Think you smell good. You will have garlic breath.
Yes, order now. Puppet Brain.
Puppetbrain.com. Oh.
Slow.
I keep forgetting the reading.
Oh.
And they lived happily forever.
What's up?
Hi, guys.
Peeking.
This is gonna be a good show.
Speaking of magnesium L-theanate,
right.
What?
Right.
Wait. I'm sorry. I don't speak Algerian.
I just made a nootropics joke, but you don't know what nootropics are, do you? You fucking idiots. You puppets are so fucking embarrassing.
Holy shit, Josh! If I make a joke about reading the ingredients like on the side of a cereal box, if I don't know what riboflavin really is, am I now just what? I don't get it.
You don't know what riboflavin is.
I don't know shit. You just pick a random.
It's just iron, Ryan. It's just another word for iron.
Riboflavin. Glevin, flavin.
Ryan, I think we should also. I'm gonna talk like RFK Jr. tonight for the show, if you don't mind. Since we're talking about all these.
Okay, first off,
magnesium. It's in the
how
water.
did Elon Musk's greed keep us from being able to stream on Twitter?
Oh yeah, well yeah, because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, something I've been doing. You have to be a paid member to stream on his platform.
I see. Cool. And you also have to be a paid member to be verified. So clearly.
Well, yeah.
There's no nepotism there.
You don't. It doesn't really matter if you're like a real person. are a real, content creator, and then you get verified like through just being real and a real person with a real fucking business.
REL, real.
Yeah, you just you pay $20 a month or whatever the fuck, and then you're verified. Yeah, it's super strong.
I am, Dana. Thank you.
He's glowing. Maybe he's pregnant.
It might be. We can neither confirm nor deny
really
right now.
Disturbing, but okay.
He
If
did
you need to get
not
out of
take
Florida
that.
fast. Let me know, okay?
You didn't take that weird
You are
root
pregnant.
tea.
I'm just kidding.
right.
Any news from any of you guys? Carrie, you had a great birthday.
I was actually homesick on my couch on my birthday, but it allowed me to get more reading done, kind of, sort of. But yeah, it was good. But for me, the highlight is my kids finally went back to school. That's my highlight for the week.
Hell
Yes,
yeah!
Congratulations.
Yes, let the state take care of them.
Well, you know what? No, the obligations are still there and very real. They just change a little bit.
Okay, I thought you said you went back to school, which was just a very different
Oh,
conversation.
My kids started
Kids,
so
yay!
late this
Okay,
year.
also good.
Yeah.
So,
We're on week
yes.
3 here. This is week 3 back to school, and it's been fun to watch my middle schooler swoop in and become more old.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my
Nice.
gosh! Is this first year of middle school?
For my daughter,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh!
For Elida.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
your who's your oldest? Is that your oldest?
Elida, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh! So your first.
It's my daughter's first year of middle school too, but they start at 5th grade here, and it's just, yeah, it's crazy.
Cool.
Well, make your children give you the respect of at least letting you know that there's an art project due on Monday before Sunday.
5th grade?
Hmm.
That feels young for middle school. Sorry about that.
I've never heard of
This
5th grade
is-
middle school.
It's a way for the private school to get more money out of the parents.
Oh,
They
it's private
have like
school.
5th and 6th grade bracket, and then they have 7th and 8th bracket, and then as you go up in the brackets, they get more money out of you. It's ridiculous.
Gotcha.
Weird.
Yes, Noman Garden. Josh's first child is named Elida.
That's right. Yeah, my oldest. Not from the Wheel of Time, but it's spelled
Before he
exactly.
started reading the book.
It is spelled exactly the same way, but it's a Dutch name, Dutch family name from 3 generations ago.
Elida von
That's amazing.
Darkfriend.
It really is
It's a cool
unfortunate.
coincidence,
Long
though.
line, long line of von
It's
Darkfriend.
unfortunate that she's such a shit character. So
Yeah.
Yeah, she
I
was
was-
one of the first. Like, she would do like lip syncs to gramophone recordings at parties. She was very famous. Elida von Orlox.
Elida von
Von
Orlox.
Orlox.
Von Orlox. Elida von.
It's not on my side, actually. It was on my side. But,
Orlox could be Danish, huh? That's-
Von Orlox.
when I was telling the crew here that I met a real Robert Jordan fan at a burger place the other day who recognized the book by the chapter icon. And when I told them that my daughter's name was Elida, he like gave me a really sad look and was like, "I'm really sorry." I was like, "It's not for middle time. Don't worry."
Right. So,
Wow.
to
No
clarify,
spoilers
Josh,
here.
Work cut out
What?
for you, father.
Josh found a Wheel of Time friend in the wild. He was just sitting there with his book open. The guy walked by, looked down, and said, "Recognize the chapter icon," and said, "Is that the Wheel of Time?" And ended up talking with Josh for a good hour or so, right?
Yeah, his daughter had read it and his wife had read it too. They were all there together.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny.
And you
Wheel of
told
Time.
him about your puppet show, huh?
I did.
Yeah. We talked. I talk about it with
I
some
talk to puppets. They do it because otherwise they'd reveal all the secrets because they can't control their faces.
I like that, Ryan.
Nice.
That's what I'm going with
Nice.
too.
That's the reason you guys use puppets, right? Because you
Yeah.
have terrible
Obviously.
facial control.
Yeah. So I get.
Obviously,
Yeah.
That's why, Josh.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, I'm like, oh.
No, I
Yeah,
live
fun.
with Case.
God,
Like
it's-
Case Ice
it's
and I
so
have
amazing. Our first time readers
yeah.
are the best.
Right.
Yeah. Also, I
Oh,
do
God.
live with Flesh Ryan, and he's
I got to
actually-
poker face it all the time.
He's pretty.
I mean,
he's
I do
actually-
know you, and you do wear a poker face, but it's not the kind that most people think of.
Yeah. It's like it's
Hey,
full of poker face. It instead of the needle face guy in the horror film, I'm just poker sticking out my face.
Do you know the
I'm in
worst way
Discord
to?
BT dubs if anyone wants to join.
Hellraiser? Is that what you're
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Do you guys know the worst way to wake Lady Gaga up from a nap?
Goo Goo Gaga?
Poker face.
Poker face. Oh yeah.
I know. I was, what? That's good. I was also thinking Lady Gaga, and that song also kept coming into my brain as you were saying.
Okay, actually, you guys brought up.
I
the
was just
Olympics.
really trying to figure out a nice way to say put my.
You guys brought up the Olympics too, and I saw Lady Gaga's performance in the Olympics. I can see that. Yes,
What?
exactly.
Wait, what did she compete in?
What did she do in the
Yeah,
Olympics?
did she do the javelin?
Josh?
She was
My
part of the
goodness.
opening ceremony that got removed from YouTube because of the Last Supper controversy.
That makes sense. That
She
makes
wasn't
sense.
part of the Last Supper controversy, but she did perform, and it was pretty cool because she is of French descent.
My favorite Lady Gaga memory is her like getting heckled by some like Puritan like Handmaid's Tale woman in a crowd, and she like runs up to her and like kisses her on the mouth.
Cute.
That's beautiful.
Just
I
wow.
love it. That is beautiful. That's a beautiful moment. I'm kind of liking how my background colors turned out. What do you think?
I'm into it.
Great.
What is hanging on the door? It looks like
It looks like a cross. Like
it looks like
Those are
animal
my
innards.
those are my point shoes. They just blend in. It's not a good placement. Okay, I'm still working it out.
I
Thank
was
you
like,
for
is that the inside
thinking
of a
it's a
rabbit?
cross. Now I will absolutely change the location. Let's just do that now. Actually, okay. This is
No, that's
fine.
awesome.
What's up with
Well-
Uber? Did
What's
anybody
up
actually
with
reach
Uber?
chapter 19? Of course we did.
See, point shoes.
There you go.
Chapter 19, we loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah, but we're at 18. Let's start at 18, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
18. It is called News for the Dragon. It has the dragon chapter icon. I walked by Josh's place at a burger. He was getting a gross burger. Well, hey, you got a lot of grease all. Wait a minute. Is that the real time?
It was actually a patty melt, so there was no grease.
So there was no grease.
There's no-
No sourdough toast. Sourdough toast. It's known.
Hey, it's absorbent. That fucking Texas.
Was it
toast.
wrapped in that kind of specific paper that just soaks up the grease?
Deli paper? Yeah, no deli paper, sadly.
This is a Rand point of view, and Rand is chilling. He's chilling in a mansion owned by Algarin, and he is telling Loyal to just back off. I mean, again, Loyal just gets so much verbal abuse. He's like, enough, Loyal.
Poor guy.
Loyal's like, but I still need to write my shit. He's like, no. There is something weird right off the bat. First of all, I do have a questionable Taishar right off the very first sentence. Firmly thumbing.
Nice. I love it.
Okay, all right. I'm okay. Does that work?
I know. I'm like, unmute.
I did love the this isn't the first time we've seen it, but the use of the window panes and the distortions in the glass being used as a symbol for like the distortions in the story. And like the way that Rand sees the world through this like distorted perspective because of Lews Therin, and like I thought that was beautiful and really well done.
It says, quote, many of these panes held bubbles, some distorted what lay outside almost beyond recognition.
Yeah. And it comes up a couple of other times, like during the fight scene. He's like, wait, what is that out there? The other thing that I think is funny is, when did Min and Matt, who both conveniently have 3-letter M names, become so similar? Like they both like have their knives out all the time. like they're like I'm waiting for the scene where Min like shrugs her shoulders to feel the knife hanging down her back, like Matt does every time.
And Min is just like always just reaching up her
Just
sleeve.
like her knives are like out
Okay,
all the time.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I will. You're so close to death right now. I can. Yes. Yeah, she is becoming a little assassin. And Rand's like, geez, how many knives she got? I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't even know. I have sex with her, and I do not even know how many knives she holds on her. He is just sitting there smoking, man. He's just burning
Poor guy
balls.
doesn't have any Two Rivers tobacco.
He's got that greasy, oily Terran tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
It's all bleh, gross. It's sticks and stones mostly. Yeah.
Okay, and Nynaeve.
Is that Mexican dirtweed?
Yeah, I think
it's
so.
Mexican dirtweed.
Don't even.
That
That's
trash compactor
rude.
weed.
What?
Dude, I literally found a baby shoe in a pound of dirtweed one time.
That's
Like a-
one of the more disturbing.
That's
A
the
real
most
baby shoe?
disturbing thing I've
Compacted
ever
in.
heard. What the fuck?
What the
Josh, I
It
think
weighs
like
you
3
need to reevaluate
Yeah,
your
that's
life
easily
choices
like 3 ounces shy then, right?
Like-
and who you're getting this
This
shit from.
fucking sucks.
They did that
Yeah,
on
yeah, no,
purpose.
no.
Kidding me?
Josh used to just dive in like a mountain of weed like Scrooge McDuck. And he was swimming around. He was
Spitting
probably
out
like
nuggets.
5 feet
Go on,
deep.
that's-
Like, yeah. And then
That's funny.
happened upon, unfortunately, a baby
A
shoe.
baby shoe.
A baby shoe, yeah.
What the
Happened
heck, a baby shoe?
upon.
So
Nice
we
question.
he's sitting there, he's like, knock it off, Loyal. He's hanging out in this room. There's Nynaeve, there's Cadsuane, there's like 50 maidens hanging around outside. Here's another Taishar, because
have
he's
one too.
describing men. Is it right
Oh,
here? Quote,
I bet it's the same one.
cut to fit snugly over her
Yep.
bosom, where her creamy silk blouse showed a touch of cleavage.
Right there, baby.
Her big
Under
dark
the eyes.
eyes framed like darkening. Oh man. Yeah,
So
I
good.
cannot respond, and this puppet is responding. Thank you, RJ.
Taisha.
Yeah.
What's up with Nynaeve, like
Fucking-
mirroring
Hold on. I'm thumbing my earlobe and humming.
Luce
Oh.
Theron? Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
What's up with Nynaeve mirroring Cadsuane with her fucking Terangrial jewelry and like hair things? Did anyone else pick up on that?
They dangle.
They
Cadsuane-
dangle and dangle.
Yeah.
Cadsuane
Yeah,
gave
I
her
did
some.
pick up on that, but I was just like,
Mhm.
oh, now the visual that I've always seen of like, oh, people going, yeah, that's Cadsuane, and I'm like, how the fuck do you know that? It makes sense now because she's always got these little dangly things in her hair.
Right, the ornaments that like
Yeah, ornaments.
tingle. Yeah, I think she gave her some of her stuff when she was bonding, or when they were cleansing the taint,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken.
Wasn't it when they were in Abu Dar and they were like kind of raiding that storeroom when they found the Bowl of the Winds? Wasn't there a bunch of stuff left over?
There was.
Yeah.
Maybe
They
that's it.
They just kind
Yeah.
of like, you know.
The same thing that the same batch that Elaine gifts Avienda from, right? In the previous chapters.
Yeah, I think. I think it probably is. Yeah. Well, that was the kin. So yeah, the Abadar. Yeah, exactly.
We get our first little glimpse of like something that I know we talked about in our text thread, but just this Rand Luce Theron, the new Rand Luce Theron conflagration, and like the way that their dynamic has evolved and changed. And I have a lot more to say about that. I don't know how deep we'll get into it on the show. I kind of feel like I already expressed a lot of what I was thinking about in the chat, but
But our audience, like, our
agreed.
chat
I just don't know how
viewers-
deep we want to get into it in the show, but there's definitely some interesting
I mean-
things about mental health and like
I think it's the
multiple
most
personality
fascinating part of all
disorder
of
and
these chapters. I agree
Right.
with you, Josh. Like, if I have my way, then we spend more time on this dynamic, because I thought it was the most interesting part of the whole 4 chapters.
Right. And just this whole thing of like, who is Rand and what is like the version of masculinity that keeps these characters from being able to express weakness? The 3 Ta'veren men that lives from the 2 rivers, and like, why is it that they can't be vulnerable? Because there's so much of this like protection that Rand has built up against expressing the suffering that he has, and the ways in which his illness is like not just the wound, but like the man in his head and the fucking nausea, and like all of it has to be internalized and like toughed out. And like, you see it in Perrin too, you see it in Mat.
And it is toxic to their health. It appears, to a certain degree, right? This
so like, why? I mean, and is that something that I want to like? Would I recommend my kids to read this at an age where like they're considering, when they're like building their image of what masculinity is, like, or do I want to represent other? It gets deep. I mean, again, this is like another one of these super deep and like complicated.
No, you should have them read Conan.
Touches so many places in our like our own world, as well as like the world of the book.
Ryan and I recommend that you wait until he falls off his bike and Ken cries to you, and then just look at him, shake your head softly, and then just put that book in his hand, and you go, you'll understand.
Knife of Dreams.
Go. Knife of Dreams.
Give him that one for okay.
Yeah.
Hang on, let's not get too far so Carissa can remember what she wants to say, because I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Don't say that, Josh. I'll forget. Hold on. Don't forget. Okay, the masculinity thing. First off, though, like, do you think that they're not why do you think they're not expressing it? Do you read it as them not expressing, not that they're not masculinity, but like their lack of vulnerability? Do you see them not expressing it? And so that is why you say that
it's not a model I want to represent.
Expectations of like masculinity is very high because they're not saying anything about it. It's just like an absence discussion.
Right. Their image of self that they have to uphold. And granted, like Dan said and argued, like, this is the savior of the world. He can't exactly be like, oh, I'm nauseous all the time when this happens and blah, blah, blah. But like, to not be like, when Min and Nynaeve clearly in these chapters can perceive the degree to which he's suffering. And Min literally is in his head experiencing herself through the bond, his suffering and the degree to which it's happening. Why can't he be vulnerable enough to talk about it to any of them? Because he clearly pushes it down so far that it never becomes a topic. And he can't even hardly admit it to himself, much less to the women that he loves. And that to me is like toxic masculinity 101.
There's a certain degree where if you are a person who lives in pain, you do not necessarily complain about the pain unless it is extraordinarily worse one day than the other. But if you're always dealing with pain,
chronic something,
But again, I feel like
something that's ongoing and it's not going to end until something happens.
So you can say, my foot is really bad today.
Else, and there's like a shift in this, the circumstances, right? Like, that's.
But things are constantly changing. Lews Therin and his relationship is evolving literally in these chapters. Things are getting worse. He can now see the guy's fucking face and like can feel like there's multiple times where he's like a hair's breadth and we would touch. Like, that's never been said in the books until now.
So Josh, if you were struggling with a voice in your head, would you tell Cadsuane?
In this situation, if he was Rand,
If I was Rand, I would at least be talking to Min about it. I mean,
right? Min is who I would talk to too about it. Like
or
that
any of the
it
women
feels
that I'm
like
bonded with,
Wait,
who I love.
any one of your partners could get kidnapped and tortured to get information about you, and if they were to tell the Dark One that you have Luce Theron's voice in your head, that might
right, fair
compromise you.
I don't.
fair
I
enough.
don't think he's thinking about it at that level, though.
I
Like,
think that he does, though. I think that he's been trained a lot by Moraine to think in that way, because I think that that's kind of what we're seeing is like Rand representing this big deal savior person, right? Like, so it's just
Right.
it feels accurate to me, anyways. Like for him to
Mhm.
not really be talking about this because for
But
one, it
all of
feels
the
like there's
things
very
and
little
none of-
time like to really get there, like go there, you know, like he doesn't have the time. Like for me, I know that if I have to go through something for a long period of time, I don't probably like talk about it in the way that's going to I'm not going to let myself get into this space where I'm really vulnerable because I have to survive it 1st. You know, like, and that's, I guess, what I'm feeling about what's happening with Rand.
you
and,
have to survive it first.
and
But if
Matt
you-
and
but there's
Karen,
so much
but like
more
especially
risk
Rand.
by not expressing what's going on to people who might be knowledgeable about it and can help you.
Well,
that's
Totally,
part of
I
the-
agree. I agree. I don't think it's the right thing to do, but I think it's a way of survival.
Yeah, but that's
that
part of the again.
feels
That's toxic
evident to me.
masculinity. That's like a broken model that I don't want.
No, it's not toxic
perpetrated.
masculinity because
Let me-
I do that when I am trying to survive
What's
a
toxic
situation.
humanness then? I mean,
let's
that you have
let's
to
not
do
forget
sometimes.
let's not forget the madness component here. And Rand knows that
Drama.
everyone knows that men who channel go crazy, and if he
but that was
is-
because of the taint. The
but
taint is now
regardless, but it didn't fix crazy. It may have
Right.
just nipped
No.
future crazy.
I don't even think this is crazy. This is not
Right, right,
not
but-
crazy.
But there is this thing where he's like, all right, there's a voice in my head. Guess who hear voices in their head?
Yeah,
People, you know,
but Luce
people who
Theron
channel too
also
much.
Here,
You know?
oh yeah, well yeah, from his perspective, right? But wait, Rand started early. What's that mean? What's TGA?
The Great Hunt.
The great hunt.
Oh,
Shadow
to
Rising.
protect others by what's
Bottling
the
it up and
shadow
making
rising?
distance from
Okay,
yourself
but
and
bottling
feeling-
up
yeah,
and
no,
making
agreed. And I think that's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
at work here for sure.
Right. Luce Theron himself ended up
That makes
being
sense, yeah.
Kinslayer because he killed everyone that he loved.
But see,
He
that's
is
the thing
reborn.
that. Sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm so
No.
Sorry. Oh, just like this concept is the thing that Josh and I differ on because, like, I don't think that, like, yes, this is what it is. Like what Dana Lou said, he took the comment away, but that's what the. Oh yeah, thank you. Sorry, I didn't know where it was. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, just like that's the, you know, he's bottling up stuff, but I don't think that that's a representation on how he of like how he was raised or necessarily just like toxic masculinity. I'm not reading it that way. That's all. Just
Well, if Perrin didn't do it too and Matt didn't do it too, I would agree with you. But they do.
They
All of the
do.
male characters do. So
well, so
Well,
I mean, I can step back and read it from a
Min-
like a literary critical perspective as like
Min's not talking to anybody about her shit either, though. Like she's
Yeah, I was
she's
thinking
going through
about that.
constant trauma, you know, like constant visions,
Right.
constant
sure.
like hell.
Agreed.
I was thinking
and
about that.
she's
Min-
alongside of the savior person the entire time, and she's
Right.
she's
Yeah, it's-
a major player in this whole
Mhm.
situation. Like
Yes.
at least in right. So
Well, how about this? Here's a question. Do we have examples of positive responses to trauma anywhere in this book? From
well, do we have
Male to
positive
female
responses
characters.
to trauma anywhere in anything?
okay, yeah,
ever?
no, yeah, you're right. It's this type of like suck it up ism is ingrained in the White Tower. How they train the initiates, like the novices. Once you go through the gates, you don't fucking talk about it.
yeah.
No one
This
talks
is a
about it.
prevalent
Aiel,
thing
Rudian, they go through the
within
gates. No one talks
every-
about it.
Tam
Almost
had a
every
sword.
single
He didn't
culture
have it.
in this situation, and every single character has this exact same like.
And the Sanshin
thing.
take it even a step further. I feel like
Yeah, for sure.
No,
so
they-
I mean, I would
they have
actually
voices
argue
for
this is
it.
like a Robert Jordan deep-seated issue.
right. No, but that's what I'm saying from a literary critical perspective. That's where it takes you, right? Is like to the author, to the cultural representations, to the cultural
Not that that's
training
funny, I
that
don't mean to
leads
laugh.
to the writer expressing this in the way that they do.
Carrie, when you're going through shit, do you suck it up or do you talk it out?
It depends on the situation. I think both apply to different situations. But I honestly feel like Jordan is doing this on purpose because he's trying to make the story interesting. Because how boring would the book be if Rand was quote unquote normal and did everything the way that we would expect? Like he's trying to make it like a mystery element about him by not having him share everything. And I will say this. I really like chapter 18, but I want to say part of that's because we got through those 5 freaking Elaine chapters, and I'm so happy to be done with those. One thing I wanted to mention about this, I know you talked briefly about the relationship between Rand and LTT evolving and stuff. One thing that I wanted to mention was, remember after they cleansed the taint, we didn't get any feedback about what happened after. I feel like we're starting to get some of that in this chapter, where we're starting to understand more about how he's dealing with the taint being cleansed. Like he's still getting nauseous. Like what the heck? Like
it seems like the taint getting cleansed actually brought him closer to whoever he crossed Balefire Pass with, which presumably again is Moradin, I think, but we still don't know who it is, and whoever they are, they're angry that they're also getting nauseous when Rand channels.
Was this the person that found him and brought the Trollocs?
This is the person who they crossed Balefire streams in Shadar Logoth when they tried to both annihilate Machin Shin. Or
no,
Mashadar. Mashadar, yeah, Mashadar. Thank you. Machin Shin is in the ways.
Yeah.
Machin Shin.
Mushin Chin always sounds like the beginning of like a kid's song riddle or something. Like,
yeah,
Mushin Chin,
Mushin Chin, Mushin Chin.
Mushin Chin.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Rand does say in this chapter, he says, "quote Talking to a voice in his head no longer seemed peculiar."
Right.
He's having straight on like he's accepted whatever's going on and
we see the whole like LTT seizing the power and like. Cad Swain being like, "Oh yeah, I can tell that he hasn't let go," and like that triggers what's his fuck.
Epic. I loved this.
Well, let's keep going. I mean, this is again, this stuff is all going to come up more as we move along. So
that's true. There's more in 21 too, right? Like, that was 21's good too.
So after Rand does see the colors of the Temerian spinning in his head, he sees Matt, he sees Rand, and then he sees the other guy. Floating in his head, a man's face, and his breath caught. For the first time, it came without any dizziness. For the first time, he could see it clearly, and it was the guy who he was fighting Samuel with in Shadow Logoth. He's like, "That's that fucking guy," and we've recognized that. You guys have said that already, but
that's
here
that
it is.
Fucking guy.
But it seems that he is aware of Rand as well, and Rand's like, "Oh, well, okay." Taishar, quote, "He were touching the other man somehow."
Yeah.
Wow.
I got another Taishar here. It's quote, "There was a streak of darkness." Made me think of poopy underwear.
Gross. Gross.
All right, so
that's so gross.
Taishar. Through a couple different thought exercises, thinking about Ta'Veren. He's like, "Oh fuck, who is this guy? Is he a Forsaken? And can he find me? Because the other Forsaken can find me, and suddenly this is getting weird.
And this is just on the tail of our last show, both other Ta'veren having the Forsaken target them. So let's not forget that.
Correct. Loyal's like,
presumably the Forsaken, given what we had talked about.
Loyal's like, hey man, you okay? He's like, yep, we're good. In comes Logain. Logain's like, what's up, bitches? Give me some wine.
Guys, we got a special guest.
Wait, hold on. He's got to get his gear ready.
Okay.
He is not ready.
He's gearing in, gearing up.
He's gearing up, gearing in, plugging it in.
We get some goss. We get some hot goss, guys.
We need a theme song.
Cameron's still holding strong. Things are going weird over there. Let's see. More than half of the. So he brought like more than half the towers down in Eridomen. Apparently Logain showed Tame the form. He's like, yeah, I don't know, the Lord Dragon, he wants them all. He's like, what? He's like, I know, right? I gotta go. What? But he didn't take any of his cronies. His cronies are growing, man. His cronies, he has like 50 of them. There's 41 of those now. He has above 50 more in his special classes, most of them men recruited just lately. And he's saying, man, quote, Tame built the Black Tower. If he's a dark friend the way you claim, why would he have done that? And Logain's like, dude, you don't see. There's a tower within the tower.
So, Carrie, do y'all remember what you thought about Tame? Like, do we think Tame is a Forsaken? Is he a dark friend?
I don't remember that much about him.
He's definitely a bad guy. He has weird, freaky motives. He's not playing by the rules, and I don't know. Like it's weird. His relationship with Rand is weird because he's the one who kind of started the Black Tower with him, but then he's off doing whatever he wants. And
Nazareth.
He's not. Yeah, he's not. Okay. I mean, if you remember, he was mysteriously there when a gray man tried to kill Rand, and he tried to save him.
Right.
So I don't trust him at all.
I mean, doesn't Rand realize that the attempt on his life was coordinated by him? I mean, there were Ashaman who attacked Rand at Karheim, right?
What?
And he had to fight back against them. Remember?
Right. Well, there was like a deserters list.
Coordinated that?
Yeah.
Well, he's just like, oh, I'm never gonna go by there. What the fuck? Who cares? Just so many. There's so many fucking pans on the burners that some of them inevitably are gonna scorch. I mean, and they're gonna become not part of the story. I feel like at this point,
Well, Rand is feeling the time crunch. He's like, shit, I know.
We're feeling the time crunch. There's only 3 books left.
Tame and Logain, I know, but I got to go deal with the Shanshin. He's like, this is what I got to do. He explains it to Cadsuane. He's like, no, listen, I got some advice from the Elfin. They said the North and the West need to be as one. The South and the East need to be as one. He's like, well, that seems like maybe I just let the Shanshin take over them. I take over us. We have a truce. And then we go fight Tom and Gaiden together. He's like, and then, I don't know, I'll deal with the Black Tower when I can. I don't know. Then we hear...
So I got a question. He actively questions whether Logain himself can be trusted, right?
Right.
Is that a reasonable thing for him to be thinking about?
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously a little paranoid. I mean, what would you expect, I suppose, given his mental state? But
Well, yeah. Well, no, wait, Rand's mental. Okay, wait, what?
Yeah. Rand's a little paranoid. But he's also not paranoid about Tyene. But he's paranoid about Logain. It's just weird. It's a weird.
Okay, I don't
Feels
think
funky.
that Rand has like madness going on. I don't think that that's what the Luz Theron thing is. I don't, I don't think that he's got anything close to dissociative identity disorder. I just don't think that that's what's happening in these books, like for Rand and Luz Theron.
Well,
Like, I
Luz
think it's
Theron
more
is
of-
screaming, "Kill him!" every time he sees Logain. Kill him! Kill him! Do you
And
imagine a voice in
And
your
Tyene as
head?
well.
Every time I walked up, I said, "Hi, Kay," and a voice was just like, "Fucking kill him, just kill him." I mean,
it would be really weird,
yeah.
I mean, isn't there that expression that says "keep your friends close, but your enemies closer"? I mean, isn't that kind of what Rand is?
They're the
doing?
same person, though. Like reincarnated, right? This is what we understand, right?
I mean, this is a really interesting point, Chris. I mean, like, how do we interpret Luz Theron's voice in this context? Like, if Rand is unique, as we've thought, and this is a unique turning of the wheel that allows for the end of time to be negotiated as one of the outcomes of Tarmangaiden. Like, what is it normally like when Luz Theron is reincarnated? Is he the primary voice? What makes Rand different enough that they're both in his head and he's in control, more or less?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know the answer to that, but I do think that you're right in the fact that like it's all different, and that like in previous turnings of the wheel where if there was a real dragon, I'm not sure that we've had that they've had like a real dragon reborn in any of the other turnings though. So like, but if there was, then I'm sure that probably was not the case. This does feel like a very special situation. But I don't, I really think that it is okay. Yeah, I do think that it's more so like an actual voice. Like, I don't know if it's like past Luz or if it's like current Luz, but in his lifetime during that time, and the wheel spokes are just lining up perfectly, so like they're passing in like correlation during this situation, and able to like understand each other because of that. Or
that's awesome.
So is
the
the
But, like,
was the taint unique to this turning of the wheel?
As
the taint had not. Well, hang on. We have no indication that the taint existed prior to this turning of the wheel. So could the taint have somehow caused this kerfuffle with Luz Theron being a voice in Rand's head rather than Luz Theron reincarnate?
Interesting.
I feel like
what
it's
does
more
that
to do
look
with
like? That was true. I don't know for sure. This is me.
Yeah.
We've not seen anything that says the taint existed in previous turnings of the wheel. We wondered what was unique about it. That's the only thing I've come up with that seems like
maybe that is
a thing.
But also the dark one is stronger in this turning, right? Like a lot has happened with the seals and the dark power stuff. So yeah.
We know Balls on his mom, your mom was like not fully trapped. Also, that's why he went mad and thought that he was the Great Lord, right?
Right.
The reason Balls on Your Mom claimed to be the Great Lord was because he was mad from living 3,000 years, partially trapped and partially not trapped.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of.
I mean, the taint has a lot to do with the dark one, though, right? Like, so it's accurate, I think, like to say that the taint is like the taint is causing this kerfuffle, as you say, Josh. I love that word. That's fun.
So this Rand then, like I said, was explained to Cadsuane. He's like, "Listen, no, I got to do this." And also, the prophecy says that that he had to bind the daughter of the Nine Moons to him. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck that means, but I gotta do this. I can't deal with Tame. I can't deal with Logain. Thanks anyways. You guys keep on keeping on, brothers. I gotta deal with this. And that's that. Cadsuane's like, a willow bends, steel breaks. He's like, a willow ain't gonna win Tarmogoyf, lady. She's like, yeah, that's a good point. Then word is, hey, Ogier. Hey, 3 Ogier just showed up. 2 ladies and a man.
Yeah.
One of them, I think's your mom, Loyal. And he's like, oh.
Your mom.
Your mom. Gross. They're like, yeah, you better fucking go, Loyal. He says, if she's Kovril, daughter of Ella, daughter of Sung, you don't want to keep her waiting.
That's right.
He's like, oh, shit. All right. If Cadsuane's heard of her, I should probably go. All right, bye. And then it jumps to chapter 19. What else in chapter 18 did we want to talk about before we jump into Loyal?
Tyshar moment.
Talk to me.
Motions of their game.
Okay. Tyshar.
And shifted her intense gaze to the man. Although I don't really like that one, but it's there. Anyway, just drink to the first one. It's fine.
Tyshar.
Thanks, Dan. You keep me afloat.
I'll just jump straight to chapter 19 then. Oh, go ahead, Carrie.
Hold on. So Nynaeve keeps mentioning, this is probably the second or third time she said this. She keeps saying that there's a storm coming, and she doesn't mean rain.
Right.
I mean, is this basically, is the next book The Gathering Storm? I mean, I keep thinking of that reference whenever she talks about a storm coming. I don't know, but there's just a lot. There just seems to be a lot more references of Tarmogoyf in these chapters than there's been in a while, and it just makes you think, like, how close is this thing?
It's mentioned like every chapter, basically, at least once. Yeah.
And it's in the final chapter that Rand kind of points it out, saying, yeah, I'm not quite ready yet, but I gotta hurry up before the pattern completely unwinds and I won't be able to do this stuff. So for how slow the Ogier speak, this should get very quick. I don't know.
Or make decisions.
Consummating that marriage super fucking fast. Ear fondling in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on.
Chapter 19. It's called Vows. It is.
Brother Dan. I'm so sorry. Let's bring in our special guest. They are finally ready.
Finally.
Yeah, everyone, hold on to your hats and glasses. This is a new experiment for First Time Reader Show. This is episode 169, so we thought it'd be appropriate to bring in you know him, you love him. Greatest teeth in the business. And here he is.
Hey! Howdy.
Joe!
Hey! Hi. So good to see you.
Great Lord of the Joe.
Oh, yeah, that was from Marshall.
Hello, Joe.
Oh, okay.
Hi, guys.
Well, let me address you properly.
I don't have enough of you in my life, Joe, so I'm glad you're here.
I mean, Josh, there's a Josh-shaped hole in my body. It is built.
Oh,
how you doing?
Cute.
Good.
God damn it.
Good.
So
How are you guys?
We're doing great. We're doing great.
Oh yeah, that's
We're a little late.
Having another
how was the last
wildly
chapter?
successful live stream. Just
Look
nothing
at
good.
that dazzling mug, Joe.
I mean, it's just it's one of those.
Dazzling or bedazzled?
It's
Frosted.
a frosted dazzling.
It's frosted. It's not
It's
bedazzled.
not bedazzled.
What is this, Ryan?
What's going
Oh,
on?
what this everyone?
Ooh.
We're going to live animate the next chapter.
Animate?
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
We're
gosh.
gonna
We're gonna
watchonary style draw. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
I'm the courtroom
Holy
stenographer.
shit, that's amazing.
Sketch artist.
So yeah, you have no limitations, Joe. Any color, anything. Can you make the background black and draw in like light colors?
What?
Whatever.
Wait, I have a question. Are you illustrating what's happening in the chapter as
Yeah.
it's read
Yeah.
along?
It's more like if I
Whoa.
think the idea is if you guys say
Do we
something
guess?
funny, I'm gonna try to draw it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Guys, I have so many Taishar moments.
But we have a very specific
love it.
battle scene I can't wait to see
Yes.
come to
Yeah, the
life
best-
before
The
our
best
eyes.
Oh
part
my
of this idea
gosh.
is that Ryan was like, "Draw a battle." I was like, "A battle?" Oh my God.
Like,
Stick figures.
easy peasy.
All right, can
These
you
are people.
full
They're all
screen that
heads.
bad boy, or
They're all
do we?
people. They're running and they're getting bigger.
I think we would have to.
Yes. Maybe some
So
pikes?
good.
Okay, this is gonna be
Oh
great.
my
All right,
gosh.
so yeah, we're
I'm
just gonna
so
ignore
excited.
you. You can feel free to talk while drawing, but yeah, we're just gonna continue the
By all
show.
means. By
We're
all
just
means.
gonna ignore you, special guest.
Here's
Special
the-
guest, you stay in the back.
You stay in the
Gotcha.
corner in the background where you belong.
I mean, in theory,
All right.
I don't need to be out on screen.
Ryan, in World War II, the average age of the combat soldier was 26. In Vietnam, it was chapter 19.
19.
Who sang that song?
Belle Biv DeVoe.
Bill Biv DeVoe. No, Paul Hardcastle. Paul Hardcastle. So Loyal's off to see his mom. He's like, I don't want to see my mom. He sees some lady in the hallway who acts as if she's seen some dead people. And Loyal is, he says, quote, he stared at the spot and scratched behind his ear. Maybe he could only see Ogier dead. Not that he actually wanted to. It was sad enough just knowing that human dead can no longer rest. Yeah, he kind of just, I don't know. That was
That's a
an
weird little
interesting thought.
point. Like, yeah.
It's like, yeah, maybe I only see my own ancestor or something. I don't know. They get to the Ogier built room. And there's 6 bedrooms for Ogier there, and they're in the biggest one. This is the oldest part of the house. It's about 500 years old. I don't know what kind of house you have where you just have like older parts and newer parts. I don't know. Wealth, man. Who can fucking figure it? But this house, that part's 500 years old. Yes.
So much.
Oh yeah, brother Dan. It's just like if you're just constantly adding on, you just, but you never fix
I
anything.
just
Like,
heard human people would no longer rest. You know.
Yeah, you just have so many wings. I love this, Ryan. This is such a good idea.
This is
Yeah,
so great.
I'm a
Oh, God.
This is working out
Just,
beautifully.
keep talking. I don't know what's happening.
He gets there. He gets to the room. There's his mother. His mother's standing by Elder Haman, and there's his soon-to-be wife. Oh man, Aerith. Look at those eyebrows. Look at those ears, guys. God damn it.
No, her mouth was straight, her nose short and well-rounded, her eyes the exact color of a silver bell's ripe seed pod. If you're an Ogier, I imagine this is sexy
Yeah.
talk.
She sounds like he's describing Danny DeVito.
Here's I have quite a few touchdowns.
All right.
Her ears sticking up through the glossy black hair that hung down her back, curving and plump, tipped with the fine tufts that looked as soft as dandelion down. They were the most gorgeous ears he had ever seen.
Yes. No. Keep
So that's-
reading. Yeah.
Oh, go.
No. I'm loving this. Downy tufts of fur.
This was the
sticking up through the black hair. It's so funny. It's so
This was
funny.
the Taishar. One of them was, quote, curving and plump. Yep.
Someone's
All right,
asking for those ears to be made sexier.
It's like, oh, look at that. Looks like you're.
How do you make a? I mean, that's curving and plump, right?
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah,
gotta do like a.
That's Robert Jordan Plump.
zoom,
Yep.
cool.
With fine
Like at the
tufts.
point, you go zoom, boop, like a little like LD eldish.
That's it.
Joe, obviously, I need to educate you on
Amazing.
how to draw.
I wasn't
So-
listening.
You're so good. Oh my god.
How do you make your ears
look at that.
sexier?
That's so,
So
good. I
Ryan-
don't know how to make yours sexier. I'm just fucking with you. I don't. Yeah.
Nice.
Is that penis?
Balls. Yeah. Penis ears.
All
Hard
right.
nipples.
I-
All right.
So Ryan,
Guys,
are
don't get
you
distracted by the drums? Come on. What's wrong?
Ryan?
Well-
Are you in ears or a?
Are you an ear? Yeah.
Are you
Ryan,
a
are you
butt
an ear
or
guy?
a boobs man? I mean, in ears or a?
no,
Are you
yeah.
an ear or a weenus man?
Yes.
I was well. Everyone knows I'm a weenus fan. No, I went in. If look at it's not the dick in the ear. No, it's nose to nose, just sniffing each other's pheromones.
Mhm.
Yeah. Just,
Yeah.
That's
good
my
stuff.
thing right there.
Nose to nose.
What do you
well,
think of your pheromones are
What is
like?
happening?
It's a dead man's weenus. Who could ask
Like-
for more?
I see a black market for like Ogier pheromones in Tear.
Ryan, screenshot these, please.
Okay,
Ryan,
yeah, good point.
screenshot
Good
these.
point.
I need to use these.
All right. Quote.
We
Quote.
have
Ty
lots of
Shark.
merch.
Ty
to
Shark.
go.
Ty
Wait,
Shark.
bring
quote.
that back up. Wait, bring it back. Bring it back. All right. Hey, it's clunky. It's
Well-
clunky. All right.
I have all of these, right? You know, just screenshot.
Everything's
I'll send
screenshotted.
them
All
later.
right.
No, nose or ear man?
What now, Ryan?
I'm a nose man.
I'm a nose man. Fucking clearly.
All right. Quote.
Nose man.
This little hair is coming out. Joe.
Best nostrils ever. This is the best nose I've ever seen.
Makes me so hard.
All right, let's get back to the narrative. This is just a
Me
background.
too. Okay.
It's like background music.
I think Dan had a Ty Shar.
I have so many. Quote.
So many.
Fingering the growth.
Yes. Oh, I heard that one. And yes, good. I'm so
Here's
glad.
another one.
Yay.
It was hard. He wanted.
Yes.
Of course, he was talking about his mustache, but I get that creepy smile.
Oh, no.
Totally.
Did you ever see
If
the
the-
Misadventures of Gumball? Oh,
This
Gumball.
looks so much.
If that smile came to your door and was like, "Hello, I'm your babysitter for the evening,"
This oddly
Slam
looks
that
like
door.
the bottom half of my father's face, and I'm not sure why.
Quote, quote, without hesitation, she came. End quote. Ty Shar. Quote, he swallowed. End quote.
Yes, he did.
Quote, he cupped the back of her head and barely had the presence of mind not to finger her.
Oh
Okay,
my
yes, I remember that one. Yes.
Holy shit! I can barely even look up. Oh my god, that one's good.
I meant to say, if it pleases you, will you perform?
Yes. Oh, shit.
Nice.
I believe that it does
What?
please me, Cobril.
Amazing. Oh
So
my
they get
goodness.
married. They do the ceremony, nose to nose, booger to booger, little mucus swap, little COVID, you know.
That's
And,
this side of the Arendt Ocean.
and Cobril's like, all right, cool. That was awesome. Now we got to go. Elder Hammond's like, fuck, it's raining. We got Ogier beds. We got Ogier beds. Look, I'm not leaving until it's nice. We'll leave in the morning. She's like, fine, we'll leave in the morning.
Ty Shar, loyal, jerk, direct.
Yes, yes, he did.
Yes, good one. He's like, I wish I could address the big stump. And she's like, you should, husband. He's like, oh, shit. Not only did that chub me a little bit, but that sounded serious. He's like, yeah, I should. And his mom's like, no, Loyal can't do that. Loyal's too young. Loyal's the worst. He gets all tongue-tied in
And
front
the
of
wife
only
is
like
like-
100 people.
No. I'm in control now, bitch.
Quote, will you allow me to tend my own husband, Mother Cobra? And Cobra's like, her ears got all fucking pointy
Super hard.
or something.
They jerk direct.
They do.
They talk about a little bit about whether they're going to open the book of translation.
Hang on. Sure. Barely had the presence of mind not to finger her.
Yeah,
Damn, that was part of the Earth. Yes, such a good. Oh my gosh, such
Yeah.
a good one.
No, it's good enough to say.
Where
Wait, you
swords
did that
were
one?
beginning-
Okay.
Only no, but it's really deserves to be said.
Mhm.
Also, he had other books. It's fine. Where swords were. Oh my gosh, Crispin, are you serious? Sorry, I'll just come back.
Wait, what is the book of translation?
What the hell is the book of translation?
Talk to me, guys.
Fuck
It
if I
says
know.
here.
It sounded like it was something that takes them.
Mass
Oh my god, that
suicide.
looks like Yoda. It's like it.
No,
It
looks
takes
like
them from the
yogurt
world.
and Spaceballs.
I thought it was like Branch Davidian shit. It's like
Here's
mass
what it
suicide.
here's what it reads here. I'll just so to give everyone context. It
Oh,
says,
she's
if you
hot.
insist, his mother said grudgingly, but I want an early start come morning. I refuse to waste an hour more than I must. The book of translation must be opened as soon as possible. Loyal jerk direct, aghast. That's what the Gray Stump is discussing? They can't do that. Not now. We must leave this world eventually so we can come to it when the wheel turns, his mother said, striding to the nearest fireplace to spread her skirts again. That is written. Now is exactly the right time, and the sooner the better.
This is just loyal.
We
jerk
must
interact. I
leave
don't know what you
this
guys are looking
world
at.
eventually.
Jerk interact. Nice.
He's shamefully
This
looking
looks
over his
like-
shoulder.
Mel
He's
Brooks,
giving me eye contact.
when Mel Brooks played Yoda in Spaceballs, that's what this
May the Schwartz be with you.
merchandising. The kids.
All right, so the book of translation guy. Oh, jeez. Whoops.
I mean, what am I
so
supposed
the
to be
book of translation is it says we must leave this world eventually so we can come to it when the wheel turns. Is this a suicide device? Is that what you were saying, Josh?
It sounds like some Branch Davidian shit to me. Yeah, for sure.
What do you think, Carrie?
This part really threw me for a loop because I wasn't expecting this. Like I feel that it's some way. It almost sounded like it was a way to temporarily transport them to another existence, but then transfer them back with possibly without killing them. I don't know. It kind of like got me thinking about all these crazy shows and stuff I watched. Like I know I mentioned Loki a couple times, but you guys haven't seen that. But
I watched Loki, of course. Yeah.
there's just a lot of like with the threads and the pattern, like a lot of similarities in that show, and I guess I'm curious.
What if the Ogier are another alien race like the Aelfin and the Eelfin? And the book of translation is what brings them into the humans' land and out of it.
Yeah, it almost sounds
That's
like it's
very
some type
good,
of
that idea.
transportation device
Mm-hmm.
that I mean it sounded like they were scared and they wanted to run, and they just want to not deal with the crazy human.
I'm bummed that it blows my genetic manipulation argument into the wind, if that is true. But I'm willing to take the knife on that to see that they're aliens.
Do we think that this is like a terrain rail or something completely different?
Well, I mean, isn't there some books that are like in mythologies, like Egyptian mythology has the Book of the Dead? I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot more going on here than we know, and it's just I mean, I don't know. I could throw off a million different wild loony theories about this, but
Throw 'em off.
I honestly don't. I honestly
I want to hear
don't.
them all.
Yeah, every single one. It's called the Book
No.
of Translation.
I know. So I'm like, translation, like Old
Trans-
Tongue. We're translating Old Tongue. Like, what are we translating?
Them in and out of the world, right? I mean,
Okay.
But why is it called translation and not like transformation or
transportation.
like transportation or like it's translation? Like,
So in this Ogier room, there's some weapons around. There's a couple long-handled axes. There's a couple paring knives that have long handles. Like, yeah, these are weird weapons to have in an Ogier room. Hi, Ryan. We're like not really gonna do things, and they're like, all right, fine. You're gonna talk to the Great Stump. Go ahead and convince me. And he's like, all right, I'll try. They kind of have a talk. He's looking out the window, that bubbly, murky window. And he sees that there's just thousands and thousands and thousands of Trollocs everywhere from the east to the west, all across the window. There were these Trollocs pouring out of the forest. He and Master Heyman. And this part actually, Ryan,
not Master Haman.
I say Heyman.
Oh, wow. That's a fucking big.
Heyman?
Master Heyman eggs.
Hey, man.
I say Haman, but that's my headcanon. But
I say
right,
Heyman.
Carissa, headcanon, Haman, Heyman. What do you hear? Oh, you listen to audiobooks, so
Heyman. No, but I say Heyman.
I say Amen, 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 Amen. I go.
Earth is a little freak. There are like Trollocs, tens of thousands of Trollocs. She's like, so many. Are we going to die, Loyal? She did not sound afraid. She sounded exciting. He's like, not if I can warn Rand. He's like, here, my boy, I think we may need these. Gives him a long-handled axe. And she says, you're my hero, husband. But if you get yourself killed, I will be very angry with you. And they started running, giving a battle cry that had not been heard in over 2,000 years. Trollocs coming, up axes and clear the field. Trollocs coming.
All right. Is there anyone getting any red flags from this woman?
From Aerith? Aerith?
Yeah.
A little freak, man. She's all tugging earlobes in public and shit.
Yeah. She sounds like she's just came out from like hanging out at Hot Topic. She's like, are we gonna die? Cool. Fun. Death is fun. It's like anyways, I thought that was the weirdest thing ever. That she was excited that they might die.
Yeah, she is weird. So, and then it jumps to Rand, and Rand's like, as I was saying, and suddenly he's like, wait a minute. I smell something funny. Cadsuane's like, hold on. My jewelry's doing something funny. Wait,
is that confirmed? Or are you just assuming?
No, it's yeah, I think she said it. She said it before. She has said it. My bucks. Cadsuane, Shadow Spawn. Cadsuane's quietly putting down their embroidery. And then they hear the Ogier. Up axes and clear the field. Lightning starts hitting. And they're all just coming. And
drink.
We learn a little bit about the Trollocs. They got like
they're
fraternities.
Full of gunk.
They got like gangs. They got different names. The Fork Lightnings and like badges.
Gang signs, yeah, or whatever.
And Trollocs like skulls.
Trollocs like skulls. Mm-hmm.
So he said that he said it seemed like the 12 principal bands might all be involved in some of the lesser. So there's 12 principal bands, guys. It's like let's see. I would think U2. I would think the Rolling Stones.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I would
Principal
think-
band.
yeah, like what are the other principal bands?
The Beatles.
The Beatles on tour though. No, they're dead. I'm
The
saying
Mamas
right
and the Papas.
the Mamas and the Papas.
Oh, that's such a great loyal. I love it, Joe. So all I can
That is
say is
good.
that Matt and Perrin are so fucking lucky that they only dealt with A, an arrow, or B, a group of 12 swordsmen.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
If this is how the fucking Forsaken came after either of them, they'd be so fucked.
Right. Well, so Luce Theron takes over. Luce Theron's like, my hands. Give me my hands. He's like, my hands. Why can't I move my hand? I need my hands.
Uh-huh.
Out came something he knew but had never seen before called Blossoms of Fire. Trollocs 100 paces or more away from the explosions went down. Then the misty back of a gateway 4 paces by 4. Rather than remaining open, they rotated shut again, opening and shutting continuously. They're just like going jump, jump.
This
jump.
is epic.
So fucking cool.
Those are
I
death
love this.
gates, he calls them. He's like, my hands, give me my hands. Rand's like, fine, raises his hands. Suddenly, arrows of fire shoot from him.
This
Did-
was such a
Did
great
anyone
scene.
did anyone think of that scene when Rand kind of just walks up all like Indiana Jones style and like shoots that guy and all the bad guys with like shit coming out of his fingers? Yes, no.
What?
Second season?
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
yeah, the Wheel Time show season 2.
About the show?
like like he shot shit out of his fingers. Anyways,
I don't know. I don't remember that.
it ain't
for
no
some
big.
reason.
Yeah, it's not memorable.
Remember,
It's fine.
It's memorable.
Why do I
Yeah.
remember him
No,
shooting
he didn't. He didn't
Oh, it
like.
makes me
He didn't.
happy.
He didn't Palpatine it.
Palpatine.
He didn't Palpatine it. It was more like bing.
Invictus.
But the whole thing that was like super fascinating about this that's happening is that like he's not in control, or he's in control of his own body, and he's doing what Luz is like asking him frantically to do only because
Uh-huh.
he like instinctually knows that it's going to work or something. He like raises his hands so that Luz can do these weaves that he's never done before, never heard of.
Luz is in
never-
control of the power. Rand's in control of his body.
Right, which is that's not a madness. That's not dissociative identity disorder. That's not Rand going insane, right? Like that's
Right, and
something else.
we talked about this before, Chris. Where I'm sorry, kid. Where like someone like is like their personality suddenly they're left-handed, or that personality has
Mhm.
like a
Yeah.
piano talent
Yeah.
or something,
Well,
right?
Yes.
Rand can draw,
So
right?
weird.
Even though he couldn't.
Right, and Rand, yeah, exactly.
Right.
Carrie, all right, Carrie, is Rand crazy or not?
That's a random question.
Or is this
Like,
something
just
else?
because
Like as
the
far as the
voices
Luz
are real-
Theron situation. Sorry.
I mean, I think we're meant to believe that he's going crazy, but I don't know if I'm fully convinced. I feel like there's other forces out there that are messing with him. I don't know. I mean, if you say he's crazy because there's a madman in his head, then I disagree, because I feel like what he's experiencing is unique, and it's not like a mental disorder or anything like that.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
okay,
mean,
so-
I've
What must
never
you-
known of any person who has like voices in their head. They've never been like, yeah, but I'm really okay with it. And also, he knows about me. I know about him. We're cool, and it's fine. Like he mentions this like being used to it and having gotten used to it, and it's just like a normity, like this is a normal thing. But nobody that I've ever known to have anything like that that I've ever experienced, like maybe I don't know. Maybe that is something. I don't know. But it doesn't
Oh well, honey,
seem
maybe
like
we need to
that.
talk later. I'll tell you about.
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
Yeah.
then.
Dude.
Wait,
I
how
just
long
don't
is
ask
Rand's
the right
hand?
You get used to
questions,
you
I
get
guess.
used to anything, Kay. You get used to anything.
I
Well,
just really, I need to get better at asking the right things.
I mean,
Yeah. If you don't ask, don't don't ask, don't tell in this household.
Shit.
Well,
No, just-
here we have Rand. Yeah, he is doing things that he does not know how to do.
right.
He is he levels up here, and the Ashamen around him, including Logain, are learning on the fly and are repeating the weaves that they are seeing.
That was so cool.
So cool.
They're
So-
not quite as good.
There's a
But-
couple of possibilities, right? Like, okay, Rand and Matt both have other people's memories in their head.
Yes.
Yeah, and poor parent has a dog.
I know. Jesus Christ. He got the shit end of the stick. Rough.
You at least got the stick end of the stick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
stick end
he
of the
got the
stick.
chase
Yeah.
the stick end of the
Fetch,
stick.
puppy.
He's got a dog.
God,
But
I
the-
love the story.
Clearly, the way that Matt and Rand have responded to their memories are very different. Rand's got a fucking voice in his head. Matt sees other men's lives to their death, but doesn't relive them himself.
But he
Very
has
different.
memories of other men's lives as well, which
Right.
I feel like is different than seeing their stuff happen
So-
too. So like there's an internal thing happening for him as well,
Mhm.
right? Is all I'm
For
saying.
sure.
And but I think that you're right. Like, yeah, there are differences in the way that they are
Well, they're both invasive.
experiencing these things.
Also,
but
yeah.
they are. They're
Ish.
yeah, I mean, it's
Matt's not
extremely
taking over.
intrusive.
Matt doesn't
like-
lose himself to the memories like Rand.
No, but he
This
has
is
to see
totally
people die, and he'll be like, "God, I hate it when they fucking die. I hate it."
Well, Matt's
You know, it's
afraid
like-
that aliens are in his head watching like television. So that's a whole other fucking thing. Right?
And
Yes.
that reminds me, the Elfin and please screenshot this. This is so good.
Yeah.
This is
So fucking good. So all right, so
Oh my gosh.
so option number 1, memories. Option number 2, let's think about the other people we've seen who have heroes of the horn that have come back into this universe, right? Obvious one is Birgitta. Now, Birgitta doesn't seem insane. She's
Right.
not overwhelmed by an other person's voice in her head.
right, but she was
Um,
stuck in Tel Anriad, right? Or some where was she stuck?
Right, but so was Luz Theron, presumably, before he appeared in Rand's head.
Oh. See,
Okay.
I forget these details. I love you, Josh.
most normal people.
The
do.
other one is Noel.
Okay.
Presumably, Noel's the hero of the horn. I mean, we don't know that yet, but it sure seems likely given that he has memory problems similar to Birgitta and blah, 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 right? Like, I think it's pretty likely that Noel is a reincarnated hero of the horn who's been
Yeah.
stuck to a human body, and that's why he's all fucked up and has these, like, broken memories and shit. But he also
For
isn't
sure.
insane in the way that Rand is. Okay. So that means Rand is unique. If either of those two things are the case, Rand is unique. We already know Rand's unique. He's the fucking dragon, right? Like, all right. And then the third option is something like, what's this fuck? Striker? Strider?
Mm.
Where it's
Slayer.
like Slayer.
Striker. I
Strider.
still you know her.
Strider
Those are
from,
like that's Lord of the Rings
Lord of
references I
yeah.
just pulled in there. Yeah. So where we have like two personalities in one body who can manifest themselves differently depending on whether they're in Tel'aran'rhiod or reality. I suppose Ishamael, Balsamon, kind of Moradin stuff also is a possibility, fourth possibility, where there's broken, like someone who's been trapped through the ages, partially submerged and not, which is what, you know, like, so there's a lot of possibilities, but Rand seems different than all four of those to me, which means, is he insane? Maybe a little. Is it also something yet different again than all of those other possibilities? Probably.
Mhm.
So where does that leave us? I don't know, but I don't think he's.
I
nuts.
know.
He's not purely nuts, but clearly, like
No,
the taint had something.
but there's
to do
also
with it.
stuff. Yeah,
There's
for
stuff,
sure.
You know.
Yeah, there's still stuff, and it feels like you're right. Like there's like at the very least, what we can deduce is that absolutely he's got some fucking PTSD from like going from Two Rivers to Savior and having to deal with these stressors of all that has entailed, and that we've
And clearly
seen.
from being locked in the box too, right? Like loose.
Yes,
Get me the fuck out of here, like
Totally. Yeah, 100%. So like, yeah, I mean, he's definitely got some stuff to feel crazy about and to be unhinged over. And that makes perfect sense. And I think that a lot of that seriously is like, it feels clear that that's going on for him. However he chooses to deal with it, but like
he's also literally got the weight of the world on his shoulders. Like
it's
literal fucking weight of the world. Right? Like,
yes, like, and the whole like you have to die to live thing.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
how is
like that's a huge
yeah.
And Min having said like, "Oh, this is the person who kills you."
Oh, I forgot about that.
Right?
Yeah.
Min told him that
Olivia. Or
Shanshan woman who's with him, Olivia, is the one has something to do with his death.
Jesus.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So yeah, it's
I
like
forgot
that.
About that.
It's like that line in the song. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you. Right, like
right. No, it's all can be true at once.
If you literally have a living voice in your head, like the definition of crazy is inappropriate. Right, you can be driven crazy by that experience, I guess, but that in and of itself, that type of voice is just otherworldly. It's not in the DSM for sure.
No,
yeah,
right,
the DSM assumes those voices are not real. But awesome.
And just to say, like this, talking to this voice no longer sounds peculiar. You know the word I'm trying to say. Peculiar. Why can't I say it?
Peculiar.
I think. Well, if you sing any word, it sounds weird. Like I'm going to sing every word. It all comes out like
where are we in the discussion?
We're on vows. We're at the end of chapter 19.
Okay.
We're at the end of the battle between the Trollocs and.
Are these death gates like time portal thingies that you think like Trollocs are being sucked into? Is that what you were saying before, Carrie? Or are these death gates like things that are just destroying actually?
It's a death gate, Joe.
You know?
Didn't we learn that like they can't go through normal gates because they would die? So I'm assuming that the death gates, do they transport them somewhere, or do they just die instantly as they go through? It says
something like that when they go through them they die. But
it says Logain asks, where did we send those Trollocs? He says it doesn't matter where they went, and he's struggling. He's like, let go, man. It says Shadowspawn can't survive passing through a gateway. He says people will find groups of dead Trollocs and maybe Mirrodra without a mark on them. So people are just going to be in their farm and see like a pile of like 6 dead Trollocs just kind of dead. No explanation where they came from or how they died. Or just the odd Mirrodra just in your like town. Weird.
So is this like bowling where if you get 20 Trollocs, then you kill a Mirrodra also?
It reminds me of like Stargate, right?
What?
Like, Stargate?
What way?
That's one of my favorite movies. Oh my god.
The Death Gates are very Stargate to me, like these like flickering world passages that are happening.
Interesting. I was thinking more along the lines of like a traveling laser thing. There was something similar at the end of one of the Assassin's Creed video games, and it just was like a red thing that would just move, and then if you touched it, you know, you get points taken away from your health. But I don't know, like, or is it like how do we visualize a Death Gate?
I mean, I feel like it's a gateway, but it's twisting. It's like a constantly changing gateway that's going to different places. That's what makes me think of like a Stargate gone awry.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Watch Joe make the most epic Death Gate.
Trolloc, fucking.
I don't want to talk anymore. I just want to watch Joe draw.
So
amazing.
Luce Theron will not let go of the power. Rand's like, fucking let go. You're embarrassing me. Let go. Logain's like, whoa, you're pretty strong there, bro. Yeah, why are you flexing so hard right now? He's like, yeah, you know, Cadsuane's like, what is he feeling, Min? Is he afraid? Min's like, he's never afraid. That's my hero. And he's like, if you want to ask me, just ask me. I'm right here. He's like, I'm doing great. And then at the end, he's like, come on. Yeah, we'll die at Tarmogoyf. I promise. He's like, fine, we die at Tarmogoyf. And suddenly the power drained from him. He released, Logain said, as if he were suddenly on Cadsuane's side. I know Cadsuane told him. He whipped his head around.
Whipped around in surprise. Yeah, no, I love that part. Yeah.
He's like, don't threaten men. That was his thing. He's like, fine. Just don't.
I love how Min's ready to literally take on Cadsuane too. She's like, my knives versus you one power, bitch.
I got so many up my sleeve. Ooh, I like this Death Gate, guys.
So does that mean that Min is crazy? Like with love? Like love struck?
Crazy on you.
Wait, why would she be crazy?
Because she literally was about to take on Cadsuane over Rand, who she clearly can't fucking kill because she's a fucking badass.
Well, but Min probably knows how Cadsuane dies, so she could go into that battle knowing that, like, yeah, it's not going to happen today.
You know, that reminds me, there's a show called...
I don't know about that, Chris.
It happened this way.
Maybe. I mean...
There's a show called The Venture Brothers that had a necromancer, and he walks up to one guy and touches him. He goes, 2 years, 6 months from a stroke. And the guy goes, what? Yeah. Yeah. Just horrible.
It's the best. Venture Brothers is a good show. Good job,
from a stroke. Oh, Dr. Orpheus is the best too. Per our rental agreement, I am having a party that is starting at 8 and ending at question mark.
So what's so great about Luce Theron is Luce Theron thinks Rand is a voice in his head.
Right. So what is Luce Theron's experience with all this? Is he living his life and just has a voice in his head, or is he seeing through Rand's eye? Does he think he is? What is Luce Theron thinking?
Luce Theron's like a disembodied consciousness. I mean,
yes.
Right? It's like he's a fucking.
He's like trapped between.
What's that called? What's that?
Between or something, like in a purgatory or whatever it might be. You know, like where you have not left to another plane of existence, but you're stuck somewhere, and he seems to be stuck in Rand's brain.
That's a good point.
Rand isn't it?
Anyway. All these holograms all around us, right, buddy?
That's funny.
I'm like, oh gosh.
Oh my god, this is amazing. I need to take. Okay.
Exactly, Lifeline and Fool.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. To Josh's point, like he's a disembodied consciousness. conscious.
What's it called? So some researchers recently found a way to like communicate with people who were like locked in their body but unable to like move because they're paralyzed.
Oh,
Like
for
Stephen
fuck's
Hawking ish.
Like
it's
Stephen,
something-
whatever
something
he has.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like Stephen Hawking, but worse, where like they can't even blink their eyes to like communicate anymore. They're now able to like read their neurons to like, it's like 70% accuracy or something, which is better than we've ever had. But it allowed them to like ask these people who are caught in this state like these questions of like, are you happy? And most people, and they were happy for the most part, like they were being kept alive.
You know, you make me remember that there's been where I've had my parents, both of them were under sedation for extended periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told that the medication that they had would be also provide like an amnesiac. So so that they wouldn't remember. And I was like, well, that's a really fucking shitty thing. What would there be if that wasn't a part of the program? What would they? Why are they forgetting all this stuff? You know, why are we making them forget? I don't know. Anyways, that wasn't the point you were making, but.
Well, but is this okay, so yeah, I get what you're saying though, in the way that like, I mean so
he can't move Rand's body, but he's aware. And he thinks that Rand is a voice in his head.
Exactly. He's experiencing this thing where he's like, he knows he can't move his body and he doesn't have control over that, but he is shouting like and he also remembers how he died. Right? Like he's like, I remember how I did it. Didn't he kill himself? Because he says, I remember.
But he's also having memories of being in Edmund's Field. Like his memories are crossing paths with Rand's memories, and it's just really freaky.
Right.
True. That's true, Carrie. But Rand didn't kill himself. So like in the way that what was I trying to say? I don't know. Same things, Josh. I guess it's just fucking weird. This consciousness shift and this dynamic between the two of them is so it's so interesting. It's so fascinating. I love this is like a part of this dynamic because I wasn't expecting it for sure. And so it's fun to talk about.
LIN, locked in syndrome. LIS.
Yeah, locked in syndrome.
That's what it's called. Sorry, I've been trying to research like what it was called. But pseudocoma. When the patient is aware but can't move or communicate verbally due to complete inability to move their body.
Guys,
so I feel like that's sort of
a long time ago on Twatcast. Luce Theron is in a little tiny spaceship, like in inner space, flying around.
Inner space, yeah.
Inner space. That's
inner space is Theron. It explains everything, and once you know that.
No, totally.
I think that Josh and I did actually reference inner space at one point already. Early fucking on about like this exact thing.
I think
Maybe
you're right.
It was about something else, but but it was definitely about a voice in another person's head, and it felt very inner space like. And I think we've done this. So that's so funny. Oh, I love it so much. I can remember that, but I cannot remember some of it. This is amazing, Joe. Amazing.
What's next? What are we talking about next?
So yeah, is there anything else in chapter 19? If not, we'll just jump right to chapter 20. Chapter 20 is called The Golden Crane. It's got the Raven tattoos, or I'm sorry, the Raven icon that Morgan from Podcast of the Dragon has tattooed. Anyways, so Rand is checking out the carnage. He's walking around. There is bodies on the floor. There's all kinds of bodies. Crows and ravens are just eaten away, but they will not go anywhere near a Myrddraal. Interesting. let's see. He said that there was maybe 100,000 Trollocs that were dead, with only fewer than 20 Aes Sedai and a dozen Ashaman. Here is a Taishar. Joe, you can draw this if you want. No, never mind. She was getting wet too.
Wait, who
Please
was,
don't draw that.
All right.
who was getting what?
She was getting wet too.
Oh, just she was getting.
Let's see. Rand's like, yeah, they're not going to attack again. That was the big deal. But he's like, he thinks that. So he's wondering why he's being tracked. He doesn't know if it's Taverin. He doesn't know if it's because of the wound. He says half of the double wound in his side had come from Ishamael, the other half from Padden Fane's dagger that carried the Tainted Shadow Logoth. They often throbbed, and when they did, they seemed alive. He's like, is that how he's doing it? I don't know. Anyway, someone came up and gave him a letter from Baron. He's like, all right, yeah, I'll read it in a second. It's raining. Let's go to this barn where the Trollocs had got in, and they go in, and there's flies everywhere. Guys, I don't like flies.
No, this was disgusting.
Yeah. Flies are the worst, man. The only thing worse than flies are baby flies, which we call maggots. Oh.
Yeah, enough to see that every single surface was thick, crawling with flies, even the straw-covered dirt floor. Oh, they're crawling?
Yeah, all over the place. Like the fact that they defy gravity still doesn't impress me. I kill every fly I see.
Me too.
So they get rid of the flies. There was all right, tell me if this is a Taishar quote. Min made a sound in her throat, very nearly a growl, and the bond swelled.
I like it. Yeah. How is that not? I think when you read it out loud, you knew the answer.
Oh yeah, there it goes. Rand reads Baron's note, and it's more or less saying she's going to split. She took Tomas. She's like, hey, I can help you. Better not here. She's like, she says, quote, I'm convinced that you can trust Cadsuane. You certainly should heed her advice, but be wary of other sisters, including those that have sworn fealty to you. Such an oath means nothing to a black sister, and even those who walk in the light may interpret it in ways you would disapprove of. You already know these. Few see that oath as invoking absolute obedience in all things. Some may find other holes. So whether you follow Cadsuane's advice, and I repeat that you should, follow mine. Be very wary. Signed, Baron. What do we make of this letter, guys? He instantly shows Cadsuane. She reads it and says, yeah, good advice. This is a woman who wears many hats. He's like, what? What does that mean?
Why is she suddenly leaving? Like when the Trollocs come, is she scared? Like is she trying to run away?
It says, quote, as I said, I have done what I can do here. I believe that I can fulfill my oath to you better elsewhere, so I've taken Tomas and gone to be about.
Mm-hmm.
Where is she going? Any ideas?
I mean, I feel like she must know the what was the prophecy that the like north and the south have to join, and then the east and the west, and then both have to be as one as well, something to that effect.
Right, the north and the east will be as one. The west and the south will be as one.
Yeah. So maybe she's gone to one of the other places that needs more convincing, you know, like because she seems to be a very influential character. I don't know. Maybe she's gone to check in with the Dark Lord because I'm not sure about Baron still, but I love her.
I don't trust her, so I'm gonna assume that she's going off to do some bad stuff. I just don't know what.
Ooh.
This barn becomes a big meeting place. The Ogier, Elder Hammond, and Loyal show up. They got their big axes. Right off the bat, Rand's like, Oh, gee, Loyal, your chick's here. I'm sure. Yeah, I'd love to go to your wedding, but I'm so busy right. He's like, no, we already got married. He's like, what? Oh, that's rad. Okay, where are you registered? I'll just send something through Venmo or something. I don't know. He's like, yeah, that's done. He's like, we don't even have time for a wedding. Peace. None of that. He says, I will be there. I promise you, I will be there with you at time of guide. Elder Hammond's like, shit, you maybe shouldn't say that. It's like, Rand's like, that's awesome. Thank you. And I need you. Again, there's a couple more of these like way gate things that are, I didn't close them all. I need you to go do that. Go ahead.
So Varen is a dark friend, right? We all agree?
Yeah, I think so.
Could she be going to report to her dark friend overlords?
I mean, definitely, but I don't think that she's. I think she's really duplicitous as well. I don't think she's.
I mean, I don't think she's a dark friend at heart. I think she's been suckered in or got caught investigating them.
What about like a double agent or something?
Yeah, double agent style for sure. That's what she seems.
All right, well let's talk about the advice that she gave. Then she said that she emphasized twice that Rand should trust Cadsuane.
Right.
Is
this dark friend advice?
No, I think that her advice, like in this particular instance, is specifically like for in the effort of like. Actually of Rand like winning the last battle, like I do think that that's her intent, though. I don't think that she has intentions like to do anything.
Varen was going to kill Cadsuane and she didn't.
Exactly.
I think that's what kind of vetting do you need beyond that?
Exactly.
Right. She had the opportunity, she didn't do it. Cadsuane said something to the effect of Varen, she's got her own agenda.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just what Aes Sedai say about one another, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we hear that a bit about Aes Sedai in general.
I thought it was only about blues when we had Moiraine in the story, and hopefully we're about to have her again.
Mm-hmm. I know, right? Oh my gosh. What'd you say? What'd you cough?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. What are you talking about, Chris?
I still didn't get it. Here, now just text me.
So Rand and Loyal have a good bro moment. And he's like, hey, congratulations. Tap, tap, tap. Shoulder. Hey, yay, hey. It turns out Loyal's been outside for more than 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to get back. Maybe weeks, maybe months. Rand's like, you do you, boo. It's all good. But I do need a sub. I need a replacement Ogier. And Elder Hammond says, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what? He's like, yeah, what about the stump? He's like, Elder Hammond's like, you know what? You can do that, Loyal. You convince me. You can convince your mom. Just keep it simple, stupid.
Oh my gosh. It takes them so long to decide anything. He was like, the mother, I think, was like, they probably won't have a decision for like another 200 years. I was like, oh no. That sounds like me.
They're like, hey, we should maybe have a decision in months. Bashir shows up. And he's like, Jesus, I've never seen anything like this. A big raid. It says a big raid out of the Blight is 1,000 Trollocs. Most are just a few hundred. He's walking around seeing all the Saldaeans. He's like, oh man, this fucking guy. I love this guy. Sees this other guy. Oh, I fucking love this guy. It was a sad thing where he's just kind of going and marking respecting those who died in combat, right?
Yeah.
He says, let's hope it really is the last battle. If we live through that, I don't think we'll ever want to see another. We will, though. There's always another battle. I suppose that will be the case until the whole world turns tinker. He says also, Azcan here, the guy who got his face split, that Azcan here had a bright future ahead of him, but you could say that the same of a lot of dead men. Turns out Daughter 9 Moons penciled Rand in 3 days.
Olivia Rand is like lamenting how he hasn't found someone to teach Olivia more. Obviously, that's going to come back in the story at some point.
Mm-hmm. And he actually tells her, "Hey, you're doing great. Keep it up. Keep up the work, kid."
And we get this Min quote. Anyway, I don't know anything. I don't know about everything I've seen. People move on. I was wrong about Moiraine. I saw all sorts of things in her future, and she's dead. Maybe some of the other things I saw never came true either. So this is another moment where, like, we have information about Moiraine that Min doesn't have.
Right. She's like, I saw stuff, but oh well. And imagine how discombobulating that would be.
Right?
It's like everything I see always happens, and yet this person died. None of that stuff happened.
Right.
That's gotta be horrible.
She's getting reamed constantly by Rand, so I think her life's a little different than it had been.
Reamed?
What does that mean, Josh? What do you mean, Josh?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Can you draw that? No.
Passionately pounded.
Passionately pounded.
Shit.
But double teamed by her and Luz, or him and Luz.
LTT's rubbing his earlobe.
Just humming away. I think he's humming like, "Oh, say can you?" All right, so we jump to Nynaeve. Nynaeve's point of view. She's hanging out in her rooms. She is with Lan, and this is where we get some of her jewelry that it shows now. She has a bracelet and rings Angreal in her hair. She wore that and her jeweled Angreal every waking moment now.
Is this Cat Swain or Nynaeve, Joe?
This is Nynaeve.
It's supposed to be Baron. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, Baron.
That's Baron.
Nice.
Well, from the show.
Yeah. Show Baron.
Show Baron.
Oh, Baron. To Baron.
So they're hanging out in their rooms. Lan is just stone face.
Love it.
That looks like Baron. Yeah, big time.
Well, it's also a scribble.
Lan's just staring out the window, all stone face and pensive, not even moving.
Okay, so did Lan enter the battle? Carrie?
It almost made it seem like he was just watching from the window and not doing anything.
Sure did to me too.
Which is very unlike his character, you know? He would be one to run into battle, not just sit there and watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Is he broken? Is this Nynaeve's effect upon him? Is it
Well, maybe he's
loaded by Moiraine?
he's conflicted because of his duty and his love for Nynaeve. And so he's like, well, if I run into battle, if I kill myself, Nynaeve's going to be upset.
Right.
But I'm torn because I want to be fighting and, you know, I'm being held back right now. And I think that's part of the reason why she finally decides to send them somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. Well said.
Well, she's in the room with Lan. Lan's looking out the window, and she's like, I think I need to go back out and start healing again. Only so many Aes Sedai, and I'm one of them, but I got a headache. And he's like, don't. He says, quote, not yet. She's like, my headache's gone.
Overextending yourself, yeah.
And it says, quote, he seldom invoked his right to command in private, cursed those sea folk for even thinking of such a thing. But when he did, the man was unbending. She did not intend to violate her marriage vows in the slightest way. So
did the sea folk marry them?
Correct. And they had like...
So they're adhering to the rules of the sea folk for their marriage. This confused me. I really didn't grok like why these rules were at play.
It was something that was insinuated that when they got married, that part of their vows was that in public she was in charge, but in private he was, or something like that.
Okay.
Hubba, I guess, right? Anyways, let's see. She says, "Lamb, what are you thinking?" He's like, as dudes do. I'm just thinking about Tarmogoyf.
The end times. No worries. Like the end of the world. All good.
He's like, I don't know why Rand's even dealing with the Sean ship. This is dumb. All the Borderlanders are down here. All these Trollocs showed up. We should have people at the borders. We should be She's like, I get it. He's like, you want to go up there, don't you? And he's like, well, since you mentioned it, I kind of do, but she's like, I'll take you. He's like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, I can do that. I'm a modern woman. I'm a supportive wife. You got your duty, I got mine. Let's fine. I'll drop you off at the Borderlands. And he's like, oh, you're the best. Big hug. He has Mandarb. Her horse's name is Lover's Knot. I think that's a drinking obligation, right?
Lover's Knot, yeah.
Nynaeve gets a promise from him. She said, promise me that you'll ride to Falmoran before you enter the Blight, and that if anyone wants to ride with you, you let him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't lead people. I mean, if they follow me, but I'm not leading anyone. She's like, just promise me. It's like, fine. That's what you want. I swear into the light and hope for my salvation and all that stuff.
And then she shows up and plays the wife, plays her card, plays her ring.
Go on. By saying, kiss me?
No. In the bar, where she invokes the ring and like pulls
right.
Valkyrie wannabes who wear the Hidori.
Right. So before we get there, he's like, well, why don't you hang out with me tonight? I'll kind of miss having,
doing it,
having sex. Yeah. And she's like, no time. They go through the gateway. He's like, wait a minute. This isn't Shinar. This is World's End. In Saldea, as far as Shinar as you can get and still be in the Borderlands. She's like, I told you I'd be at the Borderlands. Peace out. Bye. Pew. And then shows up later talking to some Malkiri. Apparently Malkiri are spread about, and a couple of them have Hidoris and stuff. And she pretty much says, hey, do you recognize this ring? Yeah, that's my husband's ring. He's like, Valkyrie's dead. He's like, hey, send your pigeons saying the Golden Crane rides for Tarmogoyf. Will he ride alone? And he's like, God damn it. No, God damn it. Are you kidding me? He claps his boys on the back. Hey, Landman Dragon's coming back. Hey, the Golden Crane's riding for Tarmogoyf. God damn it. We're in, boys. They're all just, yeah, quote, all three shouting at the top of their lungs. The Golden Crane flies for Tarmogoyf. And that's the end of chapter 20. Anything in there that you guys wanted to touch on?
I just wanted to say a quick comment on this chapter. So this chapter was kind of special to me because it was read at the first WotCon that I went to. But back then, I had no context of what the hell was going on in the story. So my headcanon of what happened in the chapter was so different from what actually happened when I read it. Like, my memory was kind of warped or distorted. But I did remember, I think, the part where she talked about, will he ride alone? I don't know. It's just kind of special because of Michael and Kate reading it live.
Yeah, I remember when that happened as well. And in fact, let me just to give, I guess, a little context. Where's my solo? Oh, I can't. Oh, I was trying to just do solo on me. Never mind. But where the map. So she pretty much dropped him off in Seattle, and he needs to get to Boston. I mean, it's kind of what she did. She's like, "Yeah, I'll take you where we border Canada," and he's like, "Cool, that's exactly where I want to go, where we border Canada." And she's like, "Psych, it's way over in Washington. You got to get over there." Just, I guess, to give you some context. Anyways.
Good job, Dan.
Psych.
Dan, I really appreciated your context.
Well, it helps. All right. Final chapter is called Within the Stone. And this is a Rand chapter. He is in Tyr. Tyr is weird right now. There's no one man in the gates. Some woman's like just staying in the guardhouse, like just shacking there. What is it? Lording? Not lording. When you take over a place, I can't think of the word. Squatting. That's what I said. She's just squatting there. Rand shows up and shit's going weird. There's all these pigeons take off and just each one of them just hit each other in mid-flight and just they all fall down like the rock in the cradle. They all fall down.
Oh yes, rockabye.
People are like food from heaven. They're breaking necks. They're shoving pigeons in their pockets for later. Gross. This is there's a lot of hunger going on in the streets because there is a siege going on. There's a rebel. Guess what, guys? There's another rebel faction in Tyr. There's one. There's sieges and rebels everywhere. It seems no one can get this shit straight. Who's in charge?
No one.
And then Rand sees the steam wagon.
Yeah, I can pull 50 fucking trailers.
50 fucking wagons, man. This is like, we got a mighty convoy. Ain't this beautiful?
Reminded me of Oregon Trail.
They go in 120 miles some days, man.
You've died of dysentery.
Dysentery. You shit your brains out. So Rand they go to a place called the Dragon. It's like a nice little place. It has a view of the Stone of Tyr. They all get a room. There's like a dozen people up in this room.
She's like, no impropriety in my rooms. And he's like, I'm going to take these 12 women up there and
like, I'll do what I want.
I do what I want.
He does do that.
I do.
And you know what? If this man's a rockin', don't
come in that one.
Here's a quick Tyshar stiffening himself.
Oh.
Does that work? I don't know.
Oh, yes.
Certainly touched it, but it was Rand's.
Oh, I have a couple I missed actually. Her toes curled, and I'll miss having my back clawed.
Oh yeah. That's a good one. So they make out, and then like minutes later, Nynaeve's like resting on his head, like, oh god, that was the greatest makeout ever. Oh, all right, we're past that. Let's see. They travel into the heart of the stone. The warriors, the guardians are there, like, what the hell? That's Rand al'Thor. Hey, Rand al'Thor. He's like, yeah, why are you still guarding here when I told you once you only had to guard Kalendor? They're like, you never said that last part to us. We've been guarding this whole thing the whole time, dummy. Anyways, anyways,
moving right on.
he's like, I'm up to go see Darlin. They're like, let's take you. He's like, I know the way. They're like, no, the things have kind of moved around. Actually, the walls have moved, the corridors have moved. He's like, don't worry about it. I'll find it. Off to see Darlin because he has Alana. He's like just following the Alana, homing device. The GPS, the Apple tag that is Alana. He shows up to their apartments. There's all kinds of nobles there. All kinds of nobles. Sees Alana, sees Darlin. Darlin. Sees Carolyn Damadrid. He sees High Lady Anelio Nasalalona. He sees he sees Weirman Santiago. That is so good, Joe.
Assalamu alaikum.
I like the golden crane in the background.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. That's amazing. Jesus. Oh wait, let me screenshot. Get your cursor out of the way.
Then you don't even
Move your cursor.
You all the pictures.
Oh, well, you just send them to me? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. That makes
So
things
apparently, when Rand showed up and the siege is kind of broken. It says less than an hour gone. Estanda suddenly began asking whether the Lord Dragon would restore her lands and title. And they all collapsed right after her. Darlin is accepted as steward in terror for the Dragon Reborn. All laws you made remain unchanged, and they pay for feeding the city for 1 year as a fine for rebellion. In return, they receive full restoration. He's all, restoration? Those bitches? Hell no!
Restoration?
That was his third strike. She spanks him with the power. He's like, yipes. 90 laughs. She's all, titter, titter, titter. Oh, you just got smacked by, they're like, all right, I guess Darlin's going to be king. Hey, Darlin's king.
Oh wait, is that Star Wars?
And there's the stuff about the kids who are gonna die that Min sees that
the
Rand wants saved.
Yeah.
Question: were these nobles the nobles that he was talking to in the Stone of Tyr? Were these the same nobles that he spent several chapters with? And was it Lord of Chaos or Fires of Heaven? There was one book where he was yelling at nobles, and I can't remember which one it was.
I think he was there with Weirman and what's her name, Aliana, whatever. I think he, So that's why he was kind of mad when he's like, "Why are you here? I told you to stay. I told you to stay."
I have a quick prompt for Joe to draw.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you're looking for something.
Mini rants, Strang said.
Oh my gosh, Joe, this is so fun.
His eyes jerked to her face and he suffered a second shock. That's a drinking obligation.
I'm sorry, what was that?
His eyes jerked to her face and he suffered his second shock. Her face, framed by the hood of her cloak, was very young, but she wore the ring, and few were foolish enough to do that without the right. He had seen young Aes Sedai before 2 or 3 times. Her age did not shock him, but on her forehead she wore the Kisane?
Kisane.
Yeah.
The red dot of a married woman. She did not look Malkiri. She did not sound Malkiri. Many younger folk had the accent.
So Nynaeve,
what?
basically.
Nynaeve with the Kassane on.
There
Do
you go.
you
Welcome, Ace
not
Sedai
understand
Ring.
the scene? I'm sorry. I thought I set the mood, Joe. God.
And
We're setting a wonderful.
Something about his eyes fell upon her and he came.
Yeah. That's the stuff.
Yeah.
Thank
Draw
you.
that.
You know, Rand. Wait, no. Who? What? No. That. Yes. You got it.
Okay.
Anyway.
This chapter ends. Tarmin Gaiden is coming soon.
Nice.
I don't fucking believe it.
Drinking obligation. No. Nope. We have 3 more books. 3? 3 books.
What did you guys think of that Sansham person that left the inn and they couldn't find him in the crowd? Like, what was that all about?
Question. There's also another weird thing that happened early in the chapter 18. It says, quote, a gust of wind brought us squeaking as the tree branches that scraped across the window panes. Imagination.
There were no trees
within-
nearby.
Yeah,
right?
there were no trees. But
Wait.
let's stick with Carrie's question though first. So there was a Shanshan there
Okay.
who
but let's come back
actually
to that.
was referencing that the conversation they were talking about, right? They were talking about whether silk grew on trees or from worms. And the Shanshan's like, I do believe that they
I
grow
think-
on worms.
I thought they addressed that even in the chapter, and it was like
Exactly.
the Shanshan are here but being low key, and like
I declare that they poop out the silk.
So
Yeah.
do you remember what page that was on, Carrie?
I can look it up really quick.
what was the? What? I'm sorry. What was the-
Are we talking about the Sunshine person that left the inn?
Yeah.
It was right when they arrived and they were trying to get a room, and the guy's like, "We don't have any rooms," and they're like, "Well, hey, I'm an Aes Sedai. You better listen to me." And he kicked some people out, and they got their room.
Oh, that is.
Oh, here it is.
I need to put on my spectacles. Yep, I just did that.
With an oath, let's see. There was a familiar accent. Rand spun to find Olivia staring wide-eyed in her face bloodless at a man in a dark coat who was just passing through the doorway to the street. With an oath, Rand ran to the door, but there were close to a dozen men in dark coats walking away from the inn, any one of whom might have spoken. There was no way to pick out one man of average height and width, seen only from behind. What was the Shanshan doing in Terre? Scouting for another invasion? He would get paid to do that soon enough. But he turned from the door, wishing he could have laid hands on the man. Knowing would have been better than having to guess. I mean, I interpreted this as a watcher. That it was one of the Blood's watchers.
So people who just go out and scout the area but don't really interact with the people?
Yeah. And there's some reference to it later. We're like, oh yeah, the Sanchin, they've been in here like asking questions and interacting with people.
I just thought it was interesting.
It is interesting for sure, yeah.
Okay, drinking obligate or Tashar moment. The pattern of vibrations was mixed. That's a vibrator reference, guys.
It pulses.
Huh?
It pulses.
There's many different settings.
All right. Quote, jerk to her face.
Oh dear God, that's a straight up porn moment. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Money shot. Is that,
Yeah.
they call that a money shot? What do they call it?
It was the last
I'm not
2
sure.
minutes of the, yeah.
2 minutes at the last 20 seconds, if that. 10 seconds. 2 seconds? We'll give it 2. Call it 2. And 2.
Whatever you say, Kate.
Sold at 2 seconds. Last 2 seconds.
Anything in left in this chapter or any of the chapters that we didn't talk about?
Where is?
I can recall.
Where does it say silk is made?
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Shara, which is the land beyond the Dragon Wall, right?
Let's see. It says,
Do we
I
even
tell you,
know
I
that
have many of the worms that make silk on a ship, but I have the anberry. The anberry leaves to feed them. We will be rich.
I mean, I thought that maybe this wasn't even a Shanshan, that it was a Sharan, and that it was just like a confusion on the part of the Shanshan woman that it was the right kind of accent.
I don't know. Olivia rather reacts. It says,
She does,
Olivia is staring wide-eyed, her face bloodless, and a man in a dark coat who was just passing through the doorway into the street.
But why would a Shanshan know about silk if silk is made in Shara?
Where does it say it was made in Shara?
I thought there was something about that earlier.
Wait, where is Shara and where is
Shara is
where
the
is Shara?
land beyond the Dragon Wall.
Wait,
that
so
the
is it north,
Aiel
south,
talked
east,
about
or...
that Noel. I thought it was Noel who told us that silk was made in Shara.
So could this be one of the like east and north coming together and south and I don't remember exactly what the somebody quoted it earlier in chat because they're all geniuses and they can look this stuff up. They're so smart. They know everything.
Fucking much going on in these books, yeah.
I know so much, but yeah, there's some. Anyways, doesn't matter. It's fine. I was just wondering if that could be something like some sort of inclination that possibly two of the entities that need to be as one are coming together. I don't know.
Because
Rand, super confident
doesn't
about that.
say that he recognizes the accent. He just notes that it's unfamiliar.
Oh, I thought he says it's a familiar. Hold on. I think it says the familiar accent makes him turn his head.
I thought it was an unfamiliar accent.
I thought he said she does not. Wait.
Oh, at that familiar accent. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
A man drawled behind him, my eyes on it. At that familiar accent, Rand spun to find Lydia.
It suggests that there was a Shanshan by both of their reactions.
It does, but the Shanshan don't have silkworms, I thought.
Maybe you read a book.
I think we need to
She
dive
held on to
real deep into where exactly this is going. Josh?
Next week, we're doing 3 chapters. We're doing 22 through 24. That's 67 pages in my book, ending at 507.
23 through, wait, what? Sorry, what?
22, 3, and 4.
22 through 24. Okay.
Yes.
Joe. Bravo.
Yes?
Those drawings are amazing. I love that.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Incredible. Incredible, honestly.
Please tell
I'm
me
so
we're
happy you
getting
did
to
that.
the point at which they enter the fucking Tower of Genji.
Right? Oh.
Who knows?
Okay.
That might not be for another couple books.
Oh my gosh, right? Oh no. Oh no.
Um,
No.
Things are happening.
There's
We have
been
to do
several
this, but-
requests in chat that you guys have missed. We did not get a Bella.
Well, I mean, because
No,
it
if
was
it happens, it
inappropriate.
happens. You know, you don't just
It has to happen organically,
Oh,
you know
my
what I
God.
mean? You know?
You get the angry feedback, Bella. All right, let's put a fork in this bad boy. Joe, thank you for joining us. You are Twatcast is on every Tuesday.
It's 2T-cast. You said that weird.
2T-cast.
It's 2T.
The Tutti Frutti class.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go. Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Held on to it hard. So hard that she ached.
Ah!
Yeah, that's Twatcast. That's
Nice.
Twatcast.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
That's Twatcast.
There you
That's
go.
Twatcast.
And that's
That
Twatcast.
sums it up nicely. Yeah.
So, you're right? Thank you. I thought so.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guy.
Yeah. You guys are the
Nice
best.
job,
I love
Joe.
you and I'm proud of you.
Night.
We'll see you next week. And
Joe.
run for your lives because this is the way to leave. Bye.
She kissed